Good evening, guys. It is Thursday, not April, May 15th, 2025. This Bathrobe business. I'm George Oganov. I got my decaf coffee and I got the news. So kind of a slow day. There's really one major headline story I want to talk about, and even there's not that much meat on the bone. But it's the last video of the week, so might as well cover it. So first story is coming out of the White House again. Trump continues with his deal-making skills in the Middle East. So now it's with the United Arab Emirates. So White House announces an AI data center campus partnership with the United Arab Emirates. This is planned to be one of the largest data centers outside of the United States. It is still unclear when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, what companies are going to be involved, but kind of the outline was talked about today in a meeting between Trump and Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. So um, all that is just to say that the deals keep on coming and Trump keeps expanding both domestic manufacturing and AI chips and AI manufacturing. So again, not much else to the story other than that, but just something to think about. Next story I want to talk about. This is more or less my headline story. So as I mentioned yesterday, the producer price index was going to come out today. That's the PPI to show if there was inflation. So this is where it gets kind of interesting. Kind of like CPI from a couple days, PPI is down. PPI is down substantially. So the market was forecasting an increase in inflation of the PPI by 0.2%, but it actually fell by negative 0.5. So a drastic change from where the market thought it was going to be. This is incredibly interesting. This is now the second inflationary gauge that we're getting in 1 week that says that inflation is actually going down, despite the fact that this was in the midst of heavy tariffs, heavy port well, I don't want to say port shutdowns, but where you literally had ships being stopped at the port, not docking because they didn't want to pay for the fees and the tariffs. This was the worst of it, and yet still we're coming out with lower inflation. This one is also interesting because the producer price index, one of the arguments has been that these tariffs are going to hurt domestic manufacturing because a lot of products aren't end use coming out of China. People are buying parts and then doing the finished work here in the United States. If that was true, the PPI would be up, but it is not. This is very interesting that despite everything we were supposed to see with inflation, it has not happened. So far, Trump keeps knocking these out of the park, to my surprise, as well as many others. Now, another interesting thing is in regards to that, today Walmart shared a story that, I'm sorry, let me share this one first. Sorry, I think I may have closed the article that I wanted, but originally Walmart was saying that it was an Axios article that said Walmart is planning to raise prices to combat tariffs. However, the former Walmart CEO, Bill Simmons, thinks that the retailer can easily absorb the tariffs and costs without raising any prices on the consumer. He goes to outline into this article as to why, and that's simply because Walmart has been increasing their profit margins overall year after year, and because of that, they're more equipped to absorb any rises in cost. He makes a pretty persuasive argument, especially in the light of PPI prices. All this is to say that despite the fact that beginning costs are going up, import costs are going up, at the end of the day, it's not getting passed over to the consumer just yet. I'm still cautiously optimistic. I think it could still happen, but so far, so good. One more thing in reference to that as well is Jerome Powell is signaling that he is expecting greater inflation to come. So this article talks a lot, but really says probably nothing, because all it's saying is that the Federal Reserve is being cautious and not making a timeline to cut rates. In other words, they're saying that interest rates are going to be higher for longer. So the Fed is accounting for inflation in the market. So far, however, we have not seen it. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, short and sweet today. Those are the stories of the day, but it's the last video of the week, so I felt like I had to. I hope you guys have a productive weekend, and I'll see you guys back here Monday.